thank you for my comfort. They're raining down on me. You have to maintain a culture of transformation and stay true to your values. Those words were said by Jeff Weiner. And I must say, this show is all about the transformational narrative. That's right. We bring you stories, interviews, perspectives that help you and I to become a better people for a better world. And today, Nasi, yeah, rejoice. Some of you know her as Janet Manyowa, but I call her Rejoice. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Janet Manyowa.
Thank you, Pastor.
Man.
I rejoice to be here.
I rejoice more, and I'm really excited because I get, this program gets me to meet and even interview some of my favorite people in this world. And you're one of those, one of my favorite artists in Zimbabwe.
What an honor.
And I love your art, I love your craft, the anointing on your life, and you're just an all around nice person.
Thank you, Mfundisi.
Yeah.
That's good.
And having known you for all these years, I've watched you transform, change, become this awesome artist who really exudes the life of God. And I guess for us today, what we want to do today, we want to unpack who is Janet Manyowa. Diani Jenny. Because people put a lot of assumptions.
Yes.
People function on assumptions.
Yes.
And assumptions are not really good. But here Nasi, we're talking to the real person.
Yes.
So Janet Manyowa, you were born in Harare. Grew up in Chegutu, grew up in various places in the country. Tell me more about that. How was that experience? How did those experiences growing up in Harare, growing up in Chegutu? Just tell me a little bit of your early years.
Yeah. Thank you. So I was born in Harare, but I grew up in Chegutu and Banket.
Right.
So I'm a small town girl, and I thank God for that. That I got to experience life in different facets.
Right.
So my parents were pastors.
Yeah.
So we grew up eating and living on ministry.
Right. So you're a PK?
I'm a PK.
Because a lot of people assume that I'm a PK. My name's
Wow.
I was interviewing Gamalio Madindi just the other day, and he was telling me that people have got a lot of assumptions.
Yes.
PK, I don't know. But tell me, how was that experience growing up as a PK, preacher's kid, pastor's kid? How was that?
Obviously you are viewed in a certain light. When I was growing up, I actually did not want anybody to know that I was a PK.
Wow.
Because I just didn't like the judgment that it came with. On how you look, on how you dress, on what you say. And there are just a lot of expectations that come. But at a certain point in my life, after I gave my life to Christ, I also have BC days, hey. So when I gave my life to Christ, I gave my life to Christ a lot of times in the church. 5 years, to 7 years. But I really...
I know.
I really remember when I was in Form 4, when I decided to follow Jesus for myself. It was for Kumba or my parents. I chose to be a different PK. I chose that I wanted to be a pastor's kid who would not be a disgrace to their parents. So it was a personal choice, and I thank God that I had that decision at an early time of my life. So I grew up singing in Crusades. My dad was a church planter. So kure. So
that's when you begin to make new friends.
And then you're always the present worshiper. So I laugh with them and say, you were taking advantage of me. You were just saying, Ndina present worshiper, I'm gonna give you an invoice.
You know what? because a lot of people normally think kuti she just decided to start singing, and all of a sudden she had this awesome voice, but you were there you were grinding it out in the Crusades.
Yes.
Mchimbana I know what you're talking about. So people assume that's the whole thing. You know what I was saying about assumptions? People assume that, all of a sudden Pastor G just started
just
singing.
from nowhere. No.
But they don't know that there were the times when Pastor G would sing in the youth group.
Yes.
YP.
And the Shagati did this projection.
Right.
You wouldn't be in that space ujimbira pasi.
Yeah.
Those akati chimba zvinotonzwika pasina microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
Then the Janet after the Crusades, or maybe it was during and after, but the Janet after high school, you said you gave your life to the Lord in Form 4. That was a pivotal transformational point.
Yeah.
But now the Janet after high school, what happened? What were some of the key pivotal moments for you?
I always loved serving God.
Right.
Even when I was in school, I started getting invites to come and sing in other schools when I was still in school, and thanks to my school teachers and also I had a lot of guidance from senior people like you. Even after I left school, I was always involved even in other churches and ministering. And I think what I would put to transformation in my story is the process.
All right.
You know how they say you need to trust the process.
Yeah.
You're not transformed sometimes overnight.
Yeah.
It is a process that you build into. So there was a lot that happened behind the scenes that sometimes, I think all times, I did not know that God was preparing me for something greater than I could see. Because I was just focused on my accounting. I love numbers. So I was all about my accounting, qualifying with my CA. I wasn't really, music was just like, I'll do it. But God knew that everything that was happening, and even I know that my career has contributed to what I've done as a musician.
What led to King of Glory? Because I think that's where Patakazona
Janet, yes.
First of all, the first single, Amazing
God.
God with Dr. Comfort Manyame, all the way from Texas. Then, Ndomira Pamuri, man.
Yeah.
I remember that year. So I remember the year before that, because King of Glory was launched 2015.
Yes.
But those two songs came out 2014.
2014.
Yeah,
yes.
January
2014.
Yes.
Yes.
And they just transformed the landscape of gospel music.
Oh, wow.
Tell me more about that.
So, I was, like I was saying, I wasn't really keen on recording.
Yeah.
My father asked my husband, when we got married, to support me in music.
Right.
So my husband wanted to keep his promise to my father.
Right.
By asking me to record. And I was just like, oh well, let me just do it, because let me just do it. So he spoke to
Thank you for nurturing. Thank you.
So my husband comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's so true. Because something has to be birthed, and sometimes you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So we then wrote the song Amazing God with Dr. Comfort, and it was over Skype. We used Skype.
Those days.
Yeah. We weren't using what we're using now. And
it blew up.
And it was a great song, and it was a surprise for me, because it was a very slow, worshipful song that I didn't expect people to really vibe to.
Just hold that thought.
Yeah.
You know what? You're watching Transformations with Pastor G, and we have Janet Manyowa in the house. Don't touch that dial, even as we just take a short break. We'll be back.